Today, we're also taking a closer look at a topic that touches every citizen, from the bustling metros to even the smallest rural villages. That's the state of our municipalities. For many, local government is the most direct point of contact with the state. It's responsible for the basic services we rely on every day. Yet, it's sometimes even an area that is consistently plagued by crisis. From failing infrastructure to financial mismanagement, we hear about it daily. All these challenges that are facing our local councils. But what exactly is a municipality? How are they even supposed to be run? And why do so many seem to be failing? And more importantly, what then can be done to actually fix them? Let's talk about this a little bit more. Dr. Thina from Wits University joins us to get a sense of this. And I think this is the point here, Dr. Nzo. We're trying to just make this understandable a little bit more so that everybody gets a sense of where exactly they go to for our service delivery protests, for any issues that might be plaguing us. What is a municipality? How is it meant to be run? And who do we go to?
Good morning, Arabella, and also good morning to your viewers. I'm actually glad that you're starting off with a very basic question. What is a municipality within the whole system of local government? A municipality is a local government, sphere where government institutions are expected to deliver basic services. We've got national, we've got provincial government. But because of our decentralization system, post-1994, the decision was taken that, in order for communities to actually benefit from what we call socio-economic justice when it comes to the way in which the state delivers its services, let's have a sphere that is semi-autonomous, where, for example, basic services such as water, electricity, refuse collection, also other services related to local economic development and enhancement, citizens can be able to directly get these services. I mean, imagine a scenario where national government had to deliver water and electricity, and then communities have complaints, and we always have to go and complain at national government level in Pretoria, where the national government offices are. It wouldn't work. And besides that, in a post-democratic state, we elect councillors at local government, where we are expecting councillors to represent our basic service delivery needs that are articulated in the Constitution under Chapter 7. So
Doctor, it does seem as though we may have
this local government system where it's supposed. Yeah. Sorry for the disconnection.
Yeah.
I think my internet is not stable today.
No worries. I mean, I'd like you to still continue with that last point as well.
Yes, but on the other hand, Arabella, we also have now the institutions of local government, a municipality, where I've spoken about service delivery, but also councillors representing us. So in a municipality, you've got council, where councillors sit in council and they take decisions concerning the delivery of service delivery, but also decisions in terms of policy making and bylaws. And these councillors are supposed to provide oversight over the administrative wing, which has the duty of ensuring that they deliver the services, they draw up the budgets, they plan for our socio-spatial and economic development, but also ensuring that the budgets that are drawn, the resources that are allocated, they are used efficiently and effectively. So you have these two very important components in a municipality within a local government sphere.
So, Doctor, that means that the success and failure of a municipality is based on the councillor themselves ensuring that all of those procedures were then followed. And those are the ones we need to then be speaking to at times of difficulty, instead of just going straight to government, for example. But when you have the water crisis, as we've been having it very recently in many parts of the country, it feels as though it's beyond the councillor's reach. Is that the case? Is that where you then need to educate yourself further and move further along?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like the way in which I was trying to explain it, Arabella, councillors are the ones that are connected to us as citizens because they represent our interest in council. If, let's say, Arabile, you are living in a particular ward in the city of Johannesburg and you have not had water for the past 2-3 days, as a community, if you are being affected by the non-delivery of water, your councillor is supposed to go to council or specifically to a department in a municipality, or, for example, the entity itself, the Joburg water entity, to say that our wards are not getting water. What is going on? We need information so that we can provide feedback to these communities who have been complaining to the councillor. And then the administration it becomes very key for them to provide the necessary explanations in terms of what is going on. So hence we say that representative local government, our connection is with the councillor, but the administrative institution has that responsibility to make sure that our taps are running. So if there are institutional failures in the administration, communities need to know, and the council is supposed to be the one who's putting pressure on the administration to provide those answers.
Doctor, the ANC has said that it would like its councillors to now have some form of basic education and training, if not tertiary, at the very least, before they become councillors, in order for them to understand whether it be things like fiscal and financial management, because that surely just moves them forward. Is that going to be the key to running our municipalities and councils better, to ensuring that there are better educated councillors who understand the format and the forums that they need to be speaking to in order to get things done for citizens?
Now, that's a very interesting perspective, Arabile, because constitutionally, in order for you to elect a councillor just need to be above 18 and they need to be a South African citizen. That's the basic constitutional right. Now, there have been a lot of debates about the competency levels of councillors in terms of understanding the legislative and institutional processes of local government. And I think for me, I critique the executive of local government because you find, Arabile, that, for example, as much as we have ward councillors who are representing us in council, but there is an executive, there is a mayoral committee where specific councillors are elected as members of the mayoral committee who provide the necessary political management support of the different functionalities in the municipality. So if you're going to appoint a councillor who's going to be an MMC, a member of the mayoral committee in the executive, who is going to lead and support finance, and they don't have the necessary background or simple understanding on how to read financial statements, on how to read budgets that are being developed by the administration that are going to be presented in council, then how do you expect that person to provide the necessary scrutiny over the budget and treasury office, the finance office in the municipality? So that's where the problem begins. And it really tells us a lot about the way in which political parties are able to appoint the competent and the right councillors with the necessary skills to politically manage, Arabile, politically manage and lead the executive of a municipality. That is my specific critique when it comes to the executive and councillors in this case.
Yeah, but it feels like politics takes over basic economics, though, in situations like that, because people get bogged down by who should be doing what. No, wait, it is my turn. No, I need to be speak. I'm the authority, etc. That we get bogged down by this red tape, that things end up not getting done in communities. The work that should be done just gets taken away and gets drawn out for so long because we're just waiting for this red tape to be fulfilled and the right person to be signing, etc. Why does it feel like it takes so long when that should be at the very basic level, right? At the lowest end of the scale, and should be easily set out because it's just able to get through and get done?
Yeah, it's the party politics at the end of the day. And one of the things that we have been highlighting in some of our research as local government researchers is that the party politics and the patronage system that has overwhelmingly taken over local government and has sort of like blurred abilities and also the political party responsibilities is what has crippled local government. And we are seeing that quite prevalent in the supply chain management processes, where political interests, where certain councillors who have, the authority or influence, particularly in the executive, and also those councillors who are overseeing specifically infrastructure-related projects that have got a lot of budget allocations. When it comes to procurement, there's a lot of interference there because of these particularistic interests that sometimes are not aligned to party interests, but very individualistic interests where people want to line their pockets and also making sure that they appoint service providers who will be able to facilitate that patronage, client relationship.
Doctor,
so that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is in the supply chain management.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to do this, and we have unfortunately run out of time, but I'm going to ask you in 15 seconds if you could give advice to anybody as we head towards the local government elections next year, how they should be thinking about their votes as they head to those elections. What should they be thinking about in how they vote?
I think it's about time that citizens really take their constitutional right very seriously about voting. They need to exercise that constitutional right of going to the ballot box and casting that vote. Abstaining from the ballot box may be seen as a protest, action against our democracy, but it doesn't help because it brings in hung councils, where hung councils have proven not to be quite effective in the sense that political parties are supposed to work together. So maybe we should go back to the ballot box and think about a political party that really cares about our basic services, a political party that will ensure that they will represent our interests so that at least we go.
Yeah. All right, Doctor, unfortunately, the line is also so bad, but it was such an important conversation